Yo, what's up, guys? This is MMA Prediction Guru, and happy to be here. This is going to be my first video for Pub Sports Radio for the Dana White Contender Series. We're going to be doing this until the season ends, so I'm going to be giving you guys this breakdown here, and it's going to be more about the totals, the over and the unders, and fight doesn't go decisions, things like that, prop bets for Dana White Contender Series here. So we're going to get right into it. The first fight of the night is Harry Hunsucker taking on Jared Vanderaa. And when you look at it here, the over for the 1.5 rounds is plus 160. The under is minus 195. And I think there's a lot of value in that because when you look at the record here of Harry Hunsucker, he's actually never been out of the first round in all 8 of his fights. He's never made it out of the first round. And you know how in the Contender Series they like to come out hard. They like to, really try to show off. And when you're looking at his opponent here, he has a few first round finishes as well. So I just feel like this fight could potentially end in the first round. And even if it doesn't, you have that other, 2 minutes and 50 seconds of the second round to potentially get it a finish as well. And there's a lot more value in the minus 195 than the minus 475 for the fight doesn't go decision. So in my opinion, there is value there on that minus 195 under 1.5 rounds. So if you're looking to play something, I think that's potentially a decent play there. And moving on, when we're looking at this next fight here, Luis Saldana taking on Vince Murdock. This one, I actually see Saldana kind of trying to win a decision here, but at plus 120, I'm just not sure there's enough value there. Even at the plus 140 for the fight goes to decision because I'm just I'm just not sure because Saldana, he does, when you look at his record, have a lot of finished victories and, a lot of first round finishes, things like that. And a lot of his losses came late. I don't think that he has, a very good record when it comes to fighting late in fights, third rounds, things like that. So Murdock may be able to come hard in that last round and try to get that finish. But Murdock, he's a guy that he actually has a lot of first, second round finishes himself, but he has some decision victories. And I just feel like this one I would pass in terms of the props. I don't think there's much value there. And even on the line in terms of minus 150 plus 130, don't see a lot of value. I think it's a pretty accurate line. So for the Saldana fight versus Vince Murdock, I would just kind of pass. And if I did have to make a play, I would say fight goes decision plus 140 would be the play I do make because I do see the fight going to decision as a plus money play. But like I said, the guy I think is going to win is more of a finisher. So I would just lay off on that one and, enjoy that fight. But up next year, we're going to pass through this one, Gloria DePaula versus Pauline Macias. That fight actually is rescheduled for November 17th. But with this fight, Edson Gomez taking on Ignacio Bahamondes. The over 2.5 rounds is minus 125. Under 2.5 is minus 105. And for the fight goes to decision, minus 115. So they basically got it as a pick 'em. They don't really know if the fight's going to go to decision. It's going to go over 2.5 rounds, under 2.5 rounds. So looking at this fight, Edson Gomez does have all of his wins via KO or TKO, but you see there he's a very big underdog. And his opponent, Ignacio Bahamondes, he's a long guy. He likes to move on the outside and kind of be a rangy striker that picks and pulls. And he had a lot of early finishes. When you look at his finishes, they're against guys that are super low-level guys with 0 wins, very low in their career. And when he moved up and made that move, he does have a win over a 3-1 opponent by knockout in the second round, but a lot of decision victories as well. So this is going to be one where I feel like it could potentially go to decision if Bahamondes wins the fight and gets out of the first round. But if it's a finish, I think it'll be probably Edson Gomez going out there getting a quick finish in the first round or going too hard for the finish where he gasses out and gets finished in the later rounds. But this is another one where I would just potentially just lay off of that one because when you look at it, I mean, it's a pick 'em for a reason. Ignacio could get a decision. He could win via finish if Edson really pushes the pace. I don't really see a big path to victory for Edson winning, but if he does win, it's going to be inside the distance. So you'll probably cash if you think Edson's going to win. So I would say, I guess, if you think Edson is a very live underdog, you could, bet the under as well as him, maybe to make it a little bit more juicy if you want to do 2 plays. But for me, I would pass on that one. And then for the main event here, we got Bruno Oliveira versus Carlos Ulberg. And this is one where the under is minus or plus 125. And I think there's value on that potentially as well because these are two guys that are going to go in there and strike. They're going to bang it out on the feet. Bruno Oliveira, there's not a lot of footage on him. There's only a couple fights where I've seen him get 2 real quick first-round knockouts. And he's 36 years old, so I think he knows that he has to come in here and make a statement if he's going to get into the UFC. And when you look at a lot of his fights, he has first-round finishes. He does have one decision victory, but Carlos Ulberg, he's the guy that's kind of a little bit iffy in terms of if the fight's going to go over or under, because in his fights in MMA, he seems to kind of lay back, be low volume, throw one shot at a time, really fear that takedown. But if Bruno Oliveira comes in here and gives him the fight that I think he's going to give him, which is a high-paced, he's going to try to be athletic, try to pull counter, be a striker, close the distance. If he gives him the fight like that, Ulberg's going to be the bigger guy. Bruno's moving up to 205 for this fight. Like I said, Bruno's a little bit older. Carlos is more in his prime. He's a kickboxer. He trains at City Kickboxing with Israel Adesanya, Brad Riddell, those type of guys. So I could see him maybe getting him in that first round. Carlos has real dangerous hooks, big uppercuts. He throws with power, real nice kicks. And if Bruno goes in there and trades with him, he could potentially get his light shut out early. 1.5 rounds is a long time to be in there with Bruno Oliveira as well. I feel like Bruno's a guy that wants to go in there, like I said, make a statement. So either guy winning, I see it kind of being under 1.5 rounds, and at plus 125, I've actually bet that personally. So that's one of the plays that I do have. So I'm going to those are the couple plays that I gave you guys. Once again, just to recap, I'm going to do the under 1.5 rounds Bruno Oliveira with Carlos Ulberg. And then with Harry Hunsucker and Jared Vanderaa, I believe the under 1.5 has value as well. So there you have it. That's kind of a breakdown, breaking down the props and the totals for Dana White Contender Series. Once again, I want to send a big shout out to Pub Sports Radio. I'm going to be starting doing more content over here. And they're a really great brand. They're a real good YouTube channel. Check out the website as well. A lot of cool people, on staff for them. So make sure to support their channel and come check out all their content. They're covering all sports. They even have different type of podcasts, about culture, things like that, just pop culture. So, if you're into that, you can listen to that as well. And hopefully you enjoyed this breakdown for the Dana White Contender Series. Hopefully we can make a little bit of money as well. And I'll see you guys next week. I'm going to be here doing these Contender Series every week for Pub Sports Radio. So thanks to them, and hopefully you guys watch it and enjoy it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.